Good morning, everyone. Russell Wright from NetworkEmpire.com. I wanted to do a quick video this Sunday morning. My friend Lorraine Lewis, who's a Network Empire student, left a very interesting comment for me, which I wanted to make sure that she didn't feel like she was the only one that sometimes gets really excited and sometimes a little bit overwhelmed by the sheer volume of information. And let me just go ahead and look at what she said here. She said, I admittedly ran down a couple of little rabbit holes, such as $4 million market research and all sorts of other bits of ISDNA that's part of our training. Couldn't find my way back, literally forgot where I started and what I was doing. And I've been listening to you all day. I really appreciate that. And I want you to understand where to come back to. She said, I might even buy Kraken, which is one of our vertical online market analysis tools. Now, what's interesting about that is the response that I gave her is probably useful for everyone else. I said, when in doubt, let me go ahead and take all of this information. When in doubt, if you start to lose your way, especially if you're a student who has not, for instance, taken our level 1 certification training course, I'm not sure that Lorraine has, it's our advanced certification training, then you need to probably come back to these free resources. The Perpetual Lead Magnet Machine. Let me show you what this is all about. It's good to remember where you are in the hierarchy of ideas. There are a lot of amazing ideas, okay, in Network Empire. The Perpetual Lead Magnet Machine in the basic version, she was talking about, the whole conversation with Lorraine started when I introduced her to the Painkiller Article Marketing Method. And I also introduced her to the software that's not our own. When we gave away the templates for the Painkiller Article Method in the training that she was in for free, there's actually a paid software out there called the Instant Article Factory. We don't recommend a lot of third-party applications, but it's one of the applications that I do use in my marketing for creating content. Now, it's not the only way to create content, but it's a very important method. Okay, so I wanted Lorraine to understand where she was in this process, this hierarchy. There's level 1 certification called the SEO silo, planning, building, and executing your researching, planning, and building your SEO website silo architecture site. So creating your ISDNA solution, that's where Lorraine really is. And she kind of got excited with all the things that we have to offer, which interestingly enough, I don't think she's a certification student, but that's all part of a 8-week boot camp, Lorraine, just so you know. This is not small stuff. In other words, it's okay if you go down a rabbit hole, you just didn't have the structure. You're actually you're in the middle of the certification training level 1, researching, planning, and building your SEO website silo architecture right here. And this is a whole 8-week boot camp training. So you're kind of doing this on your own, I believe. Now, if you are part of the training, Lorraine, I'm sorry, we have a huge number of courses, and that's great. Then you are on week 2. And week 2 is intense because the ISDNA is intense. It's the business kickoff and startup that is really, really important. I want you guys to know that, building your website silo architecture is only one aspect of building your business, okay? So my response to her is, if you're not in our advanced certification training, go back to the Perpetual Lead Magnet Machine. Also, look at the visual tour video with Sue Bell. If you get lost, it's important to always come back to center, because these are some of the most advanced business processes in the world that we've found online. We've been dubbed the Harvard University of Website Silo Architecture, SEO silo architecture, which is still website silo architecture, online business architecture, and persuasion architecture. My department deals with neuromarketing. Certification level 2 is all about persuasion. And you then utilize that before you start auto blogging, or there's 2 major problems that can happen when you're auto blogging. You can blow yourself up with SEO destruction, that is improper backlinking without considering your whole network. So we actually build on all this, okay? So I told Lorraine that another thing she can come back to in her if she gets lost is the members training area. This is the what we call the board game. You can see that we even joke around in-house. We actually ended up calling this the board game. Where are you in the board game of using all our tools and methods? Everybody has a different business architecture. Now the good news, even though this shock and awe board game may be overwhelming at first, isn't it sort of cool that getting a site to market with a product and SEO and persuasion or positioning is containable within however many steps this is. It's very, very cool. Determine the plan. Okay, find out where you are. Start here and then ask yourself, where are you? Now, in our advanced certification level training, we take you through this entire process. Generally speaking, we make a significant progress on all of this on certification level 1. And then certification level 2, we begin to expand out into your network. Okay, that's you everywhere. We begin to build your business and we expand out. Okay, so in certification level 1, we deal with this layer. Certification level 2, we get you traffic to that layer by incorporating a couple of the other layers. Certification level 3, I show you how to automate using my automatic PinVid proprietary technology and system. Certification level 4, we talk about the outer ring, and we even allude to some of the stuff that's going on out here. Okay, we also have intermediate advanced modules supplementary to those that are very important, such as the semantic web training course, which is both here and here. We also do domain authority stacking, which incorporates the entire thing. Domain authority stacking is really all-encompassing because it's really about how link juice gets passed to all of this. Okay, and how to do it without blowing yourself up, especially in the automatic broadcasting training course. If you get out here where you're using automatic RSS broadcasting, using our one feed supercharger, using social explosion, using all of these things, you need to make sure that your strategy is intact for SEO sustainability. And this is where the work of Jimmy Kelly and Sue Bell comes in prolifically. My function is to be able to show you how to market and write your content. And that's really what Lorraine was talking about. This is major stuff, you guys. Really, really important stuff. Remember, Chris Brogan has said in his book, The Impact Equation, to each their own broadcasting. We are all planetary-wide. We're all a fledgling television station. As YouTube has said, every human being on Earth is going to have a YouTube channel, maybe more than one. This is what our whole principle is about, except we want to drive all of your impact equation to your money site. And that's really what this board game is about, because what happens when you're communicating a brand or a corporate vision or a content broadcasting plan if you're not able to make money? So the first training, that's level 1 certification. This is in progress right now. It's a perpetual mastermind group. It's constant for each one of our certification level trainings. Just go to swallowyourmarketwhole.com and jump in at any time. You can go back to all the reviews. If you can afford those courses, those are not cheap. They're not as expensive as college, but they're not cheap. And then we, of course, have the premium membership area, which gets you this insight. You have access to all these types of items. In fact, this board game is actually free. You could build a whole business case using this board game if you had the discipline, the empirical discipline, and the personal discipline to carry these things out. So hopefully that answers that question for you, Lorraine, and for many, many other students. It's not just Lorraine. There's plenty of folks that come in from various aspects within our empire and within our own training system, and they don't quite understand how all of it connects together. If you go to Swallow Your Market Whole, you can see that we have on each level certification training area on the side. You can see how everything is starting to connect. Okay, each one of these training courses can be subtracted. The cost can be subtracted from your live certification event. Our live certification event happens in April, and you can see each schedule. Now, the level 1 certifications, level 1, 2, and 3, which is the first 3 and 4 layers of the web ring. Those are all online bootcamp trainings with repeatable recordings. Webinars are recorded, but we keep you updated. Okay, they happen everywhere between every 8 and 36 weeks, and these are ongoing. So anything that's changed in the industry, we come back and we give you the changes. We update you. Kevin Pauly in the semantic material, Jimmy Kelly and Sue Bell in the domain authority stacking, anything that's changed in the Google algorithms. I come up and update you on anything that's changed in persuasion and marketing, what's working now, new and innovative technologies, including the upgrades in the neurosciences that we've learned about user interface. And I coach you on how to keep your impact equation. At the end of the day, it's not only about tools, like Chris Brogan and his partner talk about the impact equation and trust agents, and the weirdos will inherit the earth in their new work, is that, yes, every it's people, not just the tools. But when you have both, when you understand the tools, the technologies, and you've incorporated a broadcasting station that gets more reach in the impact equation, then you've got an advantage that really very few people will ever have. Okay, so this is why we offer that training. And of course, at networkempire.com, especially the premium membership subscription, we really do recommend at Network Empire that you come in if you're going to just you start using our software like Network Empire Silo Builder. If you're utilizing, for instance, the last keyword tool. These are all high-level SEO tools that use natural language processing and LSI, not only to generate the best and safest backlink configuration and footprint, but also to help you have a language and understand the language within your category, within your industry. And not only that, the best language to communicate with other human beings while at the same time creating the diversified, we call this your keyword DNA. This keyword DNA should be within your content. This keyword DNA should be safe for your backlinks. This is the amazing overlap in the Venn diagram of our team, is that not only by choosing the best latent semantic indexing and diversified keywords that are the most profitable with our tools that we've spent millions of dollars to build for you, will you get that excellent SEO configuration, backlink, and on-page factors just right. You'll also be automatically speaking the language of your market through your ISDNA process, okay? So this is why we're so careful to make sure that you build your rings, that you at least have a money site and you understand how to create the right architecture so that you can optimize all these powerful keywords so that when you begin to automate and semi-automate your systems with the advanced training, you're simply going to crush it because your broadcast, your television station, your content broadcasting, whether it's automated and or semi-automated on the various web rings, will actually have the most reach within your impact equation. R is for reach in the create model of the impact equation by Chris Brogan, who, again, I'm a fan of their work because we've tweaked their work from the technology sector and category to be even more effective than they implied in their work. So that's something that we teach at certification level 2. I get a lot into the impact equation and how that is affected by your proper neuromarketing. Okay, impact equation is key. It's not just becoming obsessed by technologies. It's also having that message going out to your market. This is where we call training module 2, content curation and domain authority. And week 3, where I talk about headline optimization, neuromarketing, and meme jacking. This is where I really get into the secrets of the impact equation. If everybody on earth is going to have their own broadcasting station and you are automatically a brand, either your company, then the broadcasting of that content is going to be dependent upon your message, the effectiveness of it, and then the leveraging of the technology that we offer at the Network Empire certification process is second to none in the world. There's nobody that we've found that are combining these ideas, both persuasion, website persuasion architecture with SEO silo, technical SEO architecture, the advanced technologies in the world that we ourselves have programmed, the military level team, combined with the semantic web progress that's being made, the huge changes, these major black swans coming are the way that the semantic web is going to be influencing both your persuasion architecture and your technical SEO. You combine that with business architecture, and you're going to understand exactly where the world is going for the next 10 years. It's really, really powerful stuff. I call this, if you start putting all these things together, we call this the future-proof empire. Future-proof empire was a diagram that we put together for our advanced students. And it lays out everything that you need to be aware of about why businesses fail. I've been coaching online business entrepreneurs for the last 15 years, and it's in these areas that entrepreneurs fail. Okay? You really got to understand what you're doing. Okay? And again, you can read amazing books on this topic like Good to Great, How the Mighty Fall, Great by Choice, Collins' work. You can look at these, but if you don't combine them with other understandings such as lean startup, if you don't combine them with an understanding of human behavior and what's really going on the web, in the book Switch, for instance, Dan and Chip Heath, very important stuff. If you dehumanize the web and you take out the human factor, then what you are is purely SEO and ranking. And that's not a bad thing. If you know that you're there, then you might only be interested in a couple of these steps on the futureproofempire.com model. But this is a way to look at your whole global business. Everything that we offer within the network empire, the software, the training, and really look at, wow, okay, if I'm not doing one of these things well, I probably won't break millions of dollars a year like the Network Empire team does with their businesses. I want you to be able to put these things together, get the right people on the bus, and then figure out where you're going in relationship to your product, and then determine how to incorporate all these steps. Okay, you got to have your product first, then your strategy is in place, and then your technology vision will follow. So this is a little bit of insight. I want to thank Lorraine for inspiring me on these things, to remind people where these documents are. Below this video, I'm going to put these training tools that I just gave you so you can utilize them all. I'm going to add Future Proof Empire. I'm going to add a link to the Swallow Your Market Whole training level so that you know the advanced training. If you don't want to do advanced training, I'm going to provide the free resources to the socially activated one web ring, perpetual downstream traffic, and domain authority stacking system. We didn't even have enough room to add the whole, and we have a very long in-house blurb for what this system actually is. And people think we're kidding. We're literally not. At the end of the day, it's a content broadcasting station for you to develop and control at very low cost once it's understood. And then, of course, I'm going to insert the game board that Sue and I created. This is really more about your WR1, your first site. You can't. People jump the gun, and they love to get into the automatic broadcasting stuff. And many SEO agencies are ready for that. It's completely fine to come into certification level 3 automatic broadcast, automatic video traffic that I teach. It's fine to come into automatic broadcasting level 4. If you're an SEO, you know what you're doing, you've made money online, it's all great. It's great stuff to learn. But if you're trying to make money for your first time online, you need to come up with your first business model. And that's really what this game board is designed to do. Make sure that you have done these things, that you've gone through the process of creating your product and you've developed your ISDNA. A lot of people, we find, don't necessarily make it past this first step. What's the issue here? It's the impact. Making an impact to machines is easy, but actually getting people to buy something from you for whatever reason, for people who are really technically inclined, is a little bit more difficult. You got to do both of it. You got to do both of those actions. You have to speak to the world of machines, right? Let's just go ahead and zoom this up. This is the mistake that people make. You got to speak to the world of the machines. That's the world of the geek, the world of the robot, and the very technical left brain. And you've got to speak simultaneously to the world of relationships, the world of the elephant that the Heath brothers talk about in their book, Made to Switch, okay, or Switch. Okay, so the emotional side of the brain is all about your marketing. There's people on the bus, on your team, that are great at that, and maybe it's just you, but you got to know when you're switching hats. Okay, when you put your technical SEO hat away and put your sales and emotional and vision and Y power hat on, you have to know when you've made that switch. And then when you're creating that content and that content is done, you're ready to broadcast, then you put that up on the site, then you need to have all your ducks in a row, your SEO, and so on and so forth. And this is the big issue that I feel a lot of people miss. And this is why we need you at certification, for those of you who really want to go to the next level, because the best possible SEO rankings and the highest possible conversion occurs when you're able to focus on your persuasion architecture and your SEO business decision architecture at the same time. I do recommend having a team to help you do that. I used to try to create persuasion architecture and SEO business decision architecture at the same time. You can ask Sue how well that went. It's not a great thing. When I stuck to what I was good at, which is communicating, which is creating vision and inventing software and services and concepts and epimemes, then really that's when we started to go into the millions of dollars. Okay, and I want you to have that experience too. You have to think clearly about how to think. And you have to be clear about your lean startup process. Okay? All right, I hope this has been my Sunday rant. I'm going to try to do a Sunday rant every Sunday. It's February 1st, 2015. I look forward to seeing you on the inside, and I want to hear about you making your impact with your own content broadcast. We'll see you on the inside.